welcome to Stitches and Sundries. This is a Flosstube, a podcast about cross-stitch and stitchy goodness. Oh man, I think it's episode 63. My name is Lauren. You can find me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching, and come follow me over there because I'm getting a little better about posting and posting not just everything you've seen here. So maybe that will help. Being active on the social medias. I am, I think here, incredibly tired today. I feel like my face is like, I feel like I have huge bags under my eyes. Don't look. But other than that, it's a pretty good day. Had a very full weekend. I am cramming in filming on Monday evening. But had a pretty good weekend. Went to an art show that got rained out, and half the vendors did not show up for the second day. Like, it was a 2-day event. And we went on the second day, and it was raining, like, totally. Like, I get that. But, like, more than half the vendors pulled out because of the rain. And I get it a little bit, but it was a pretty disappointing showing for people who braved the rain to go help, go support local artists and things like that. Hung out with my awesome friends, Ruth and Mary, and did Stitchy afternoon, and that was super fun. They're pretty awesome people. So other than that, so it's just kind of like a long weekend of running around and doing fun stuff. But now it is the week, and I don't want to anymore. I don't want the week anymore. Can we go to the next weekend? I have today for cross stitch. Let's talk about cross stitch. I have a finish. I have a new start. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 whips. I have to look at my bag. And I have an update. So we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. So first of all, let's do finishes. So I worked from home on Friday, which meant I basically sat at my computer, did a few things, stitched a little bit, I got a lot of stitching done on Friday. And I worked from home. Let me tell you why I worked from home. So Wednesday, after 4th of July, I usually am off Wednesdays, but I went into the office on Wednesday and had a meeting at another building that's like on the other side of town. And over there's this great coffee place. So I said to the whole office, like, I'll grab us coffees. And it's something I've done before. Like, whenever I have to go to that side of town, I grab coffees. No big deal. I got them. It's like a little drive-up coffee, like, hut. Got them, put them in my car, got them all situated, drove, I'm not kidding you, 12 feet. Like, not very far at all. And one of the coffees was not, like, securely in the carrier. And it tipped over, like, completely upside down, just glugging out into my seat. And then the weight distribution of losing that coffee caused the other side to tip. And another creamy coffee latte type thing and a strawberry refresher just went straight down into my seat, into the bottom, into the whole car. So I started calling around. Like, I was like, I can't fix that. Like, that is so much milk. I don't have steamers. I don't have ways to get this out. I gotta call like a detail shop, of which there are 2 in the tri-state area. Like, there's just nothing around us. So I call around. Nobody answers. There's probably, there might be 4. One of them has closed down, so there's 3. So I call around. I'm not getting answers, or I get the one guy who's like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. Like, we shut the business down. And finally I get a guy who I'm like, I need an emergency. And he's like, we're booked up. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, it is milk. There is so much of it. And he's like, oh shit, yeah, okay, let me get you in. So super nice. But he's like, I'm going to keep your car for at least a couple days because we do have obligations that we've set. Like, we've told other people they were ahead of you. And two, we're gonna need 2 guys to like spend a day taking the seat out, cleaning all the like screws. Like, it was everywhere, and it's sugar and milk and coffee, and it is just everywhere, right? So he's like, it's gonna be, and I was like, just do the whole damn thing. Like, whenever you can get to it, you can get to it. Like, as long as it doesn't smell, I'm happy. They were super nice for getting me in as best they could. So I didn't have a car for the rest of the week. So that's why I work from home. But that was my fun saga of just watching. I'm like, no, as coffee just starts pouring into my seat. Like, just straight down in. It's great. So, what I accomplished on Friday was a finish. And I finished this little guy. And look how good he looks. Look at that effect. Oh, he's so cool. This is Lost by the Retro Stitcher. It's a freebie on her website. And it is so cute. And I have such a cool idea for finishing. I'm going to pull it back a little bit so it's less see-through. I have such a cool idea for finishing. I'm not going to share it. I'm just going to share it when it's done. And yeah, this little guy was he was a small, he was perfect for traveling and taking to work on my lunch break. I really enjoyed working on him. So, he's all done. I love the glitchiness. I love the, and this is something the Retro Stitcher apparently does a lot of. So like a lot of their patterns are available in glitch form, and they have this like fuzzy TV look. So yeah, I am super happy about that. Super happy to have him done. So is my sister, who loves him. Oh, another thing I want to show. The back on this guy is just so, I don't know if the colors are picking up. That is so freaking fun. It's almost as good as the front. The back is so good. Running your stitches, trying not to like, because my fabric, as you can see, is pretty see-through. I had to keep running the stitches along themselves, like keeping them along the same silhouette line. That got to be a pain in the butt after a little while when I'm like on my 4th or 5th color. So I snip the thread pretty often just to keep it from being too bulky. But yeah, super cute, little freebie, nice little small, done. It's for my sister, of course. She picked it for herself. So next up, what do I have? Let's do, let me pull out my notebook. Try not to shake the whole table. Nope, it's shaking. See if the camera stabilizes any of that. Probably not. Probably makes it worse. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll have to show you my pages. Maybe I'll do that at the end. I make special pages for each project as like a divider. So the next one up I have is the CryptoNaturalist sampler by Screaming Heart Design. Yeah. I just got to double check that I had the right designer. And this is where I was last time. And I made, I mean, good progress, I think. Show you. So I finished up here, the vines and the little skull guy. I can't remember. I might have been working in this. This might not have been done. Probably was, though. I came down here, added this wedge, and started over on the large, it says now here in the beginning, in the middle, in pretty large block letters, and started on that. So this is coming. I believe I am past, shake the table again as I open this. I should just leave it open. Shit, it's not in here. I believe I'm past the 50% mark now. I think I did. So I have really enjoyed working on this. This is so really nice to work on. It is a nice pattern. It is beautiful. I'm stitching this on 28 count Crystal Highland linen from Pictures Plus, and it's a joy to stitch on. The scroll frame that I have it on is just lovely to work on. It keeps me kind of focused in on this spot. It's just a fun stitch. And I have put in, I think over 1,000 stitches in just like, this was a focus piece for, I probably stitched on this maybe 3 days after the last recording. That is pretty damn good. So yeah, it's coming along. I am really enjoying it. So this is my focus piece for the last part of June, and then in July, let's do it. Let's do a philosophical conversation. Not really. Philosophical is not the right word. In July, I wanted to change my focus to Colossal Octopus by Unconventional X Stitch. That's this here. This is my first real, I don't want to say full coverage. I've done full coverage in like with a 9-inch hoop where you're like going from edge to edge. But this is my first real like full coverage, fully large piece. And so I switched over for July and got this back out. Let me just show you where I'm at. And my threads are parked weird, but I'll talk about why. And I got a little done on it. Let me show you here. I got these birds and I started working over here. And then I started thinking, which is never a good sign. I really dislike this stitch. It was fine to get out again. I was like surprised how quickly I got back in the rhythm, but it was started getting frustrating really quickly. And then I started looking at the progress I've made, and I started looking at all the things that I have learned by doing this. Now, one thing about this is it is probably not a very good cross stitch pattern. I shouldn't say that. That's not the right wording. It is probably they took the piece of artwork by, it's either Denise or Dennis. It's probably Dennis Montfort, which was like an engraving, and just threw it in one of those converter softwares, converted it into a cross stitch, and put it out. And the picture itself probably needs a little more thought than just that, because it is an incredibly sketchy and like there are just so many. It's 100% confetti. It is 100% confetti. There is barely any sections of color at all. So it's a rough cross stitch to do. It's my first one. Not a great combination. Like, I'm sure an experienced, seasoned, full coverage cross stitcher would be like, I've done worse, right? Like, sure, totally. I have not. And when I started, I was really struggling with technique. Watched a lot of stuff. Suki from the Brown Eyed Stitcher did a fantastic like 3-part series on like tent stitch and full coverage and everything. Like, she was absolutely a great resource. But I found her a little late. I found her after I got like down to here, I think. So I've learned so much by doing, by watching, by trying to fix problems I was having. And now I'm like, oh dear, I have some bad spots on the back of this that are going to create lumps to the front, that are going to create issues. And the rest of it might be really smooth, and this one corner is going to really stand out. Do I care? Do I want to deal with that? And I've made so much progress. Like, what do, where do I, do I just accept that part of it's going to be not great? And I started thinking about these questions, and I was like, I might need to restart this. Like, restart it with all the knowledge that you have. Just, cut your losses early before you really get invested and find out you have to restart, or feel like you have to restart. And so I asked my awesome friends yesterday while they were up and was like, hey, I have a question. Like, what would you do in this situation? And my friend Mary was like, well, I think you can save it. I think you can do this. And as soon as she said it, I knew that's not what I wanted to hear. As soon as she said, keep going, I was like, oh, I wanted her to give me the out. I wanted her to give me the out to stop. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to take your advice at all, Mary, you wonderful person, but you've just answered my question for me because I don't want to work on it anymore. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to work on it. We'll just cut it and keep the fabric for all that it's good for. Maybe do something with it. I don't know. But it's not something that I feel inspired by. It's something I have no reason for it. Like whereas other ones that I've been like, oh, those are really backburnered for a while and I'm struggling to feel motivated on them. Like I needed them fit. Like they were gifts. I had intention for them. This I don't really. It was originally, for people new here that have not seen me start this, my sister originally bought this. She was going to get into cross stitch, and this was like her second cross stitch she ever bought. My sister originally bought this, started, and I think maybe she got a 10 by 10 square done. Maybe a 20 by 20 square. And then abandoned it, but she liked the pattern. I said, well, I'll stitch it for you. Not knowing what I was getting myself into. So it's not like something I'm invested in. It's not like something I chose and I love. It's just a pattern we had, and I thought that would be fun. And it's not fun, and it's making me sad to get it out. So then I was like, I'm going to restart it. I'm going to start it with all the knowledge that I have. I'm going to start it with fresh eyes and a fresh outlook. And then as I was still talking to those girls, and we brought up Etsy on the TV, and we're like looking through like other Kraken patterns that maybe I could, fill in for a little while. Like that would, be a nice thing for Sarah, since she originally did want a Kraken pattern. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm not restarting this thing. Like absolutely not. So down with the ship. I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm not going to. It's not going to sit in my whips, making me miserable and feel guilty about it. It's not going to come out every once in a while for me to half-heartedly work on it and be upset with the finished product. I don't want to. So for the second time in my crafting career, I'm abandoning a whip. I just don't want to do it. And I'd pitch it off, except I really like this frame, and so this frame is really nice, so I'm not going to throw it. But I would be like, wow, out the, off frame. But yeah. So I'm just completely getting rid of it. If in 10 years I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm in a good place and I want to do it again, I have the pattern, like who cares? It's just not something I want to update on. It's not something I want to talk about. It's not something I want to work on. Why? I have control of this. Why would I not stop? So, goodbye. Oh, this doesn't feel good. I'm a completionist, 100%. So, anyway, setting the cup down very gently. All right. So that was the update from the beginning. So that is one more whip off my mountain of whips. Let's get another one. All right. This is Till Death by the Lonely Seaman. And I'm stitching this for my cousin. Oh, this is still in the hoop because it's my travel stitch. I'll take it out of the hoop. This is where I was. Here's my little tin. And here is where I am now with a hoop mark. Just a little bit of progress on this one. I had like 100 other things. And I'm a little short. I recorded I usually try and do a Sunday to a Sunday. And this time I'm doing a Wednesday to a Monday. So I have just a little less stitching done. So there we go. There's where I'm at. Got his whole rib cage outlined, I'm going to call it. Started working on his elbow and his arm there. And yeah, coming along very nicely. I am loving this whole thing. I love the green. I love how the green stands out. Like, I am just like in awe of this color. I think this is 907 and it is gorgeous. Which is like light parrot green or something. I still only have death down at the bottom. I should probably add more than death, but I'll work my way down there. Yeah. So this is coming along really well. I am loving it. And again, it's a good one I take to work. So usually in a 2-week span, I'll take one thing to work one week, another thing to work the next week, and make a little bit of progress on both. So that is coming along. It's a super fun stitch. And I hope my cousin will love it. Oh, let me see here. I'm going to touch the table again. I need to figure out something to do about that. Probably because I have my camera stand on a box on the table. Like, I am so jerry-rigged up. All right, what's this one called? Till Death. Okay, this one's page is not that great, but I make dividers for my thing. And so, like, this is the divider I made. A little skeleton in the greenery. And I've got, like, part of Here Comes the Bride and a little sticker that's like a love heart. So I tried to theme it appropriately. And then there's my tracker for how I keep track of my progress and work each day. That is so wobbly. I'm gonna be just shaking all over the place. So yeah. Oh, it says Be Mine. The sticker says Be Mine. I probably got it for Valentine's Day. But I thought it was appropriate for a wedding. So where'd the bag go that you were in? There. Yeah. So that will come to work with me. It did not come today. I'll show you the one that came today, and but that'll probably come with me next week, and I'll get more done on it. She gets married in September, so I think I have some time, but I'd like to get it done. And it goes pretty quick. Like, you make progress on it when you work on it. All right. Next whip. This one I don't have a page for because it's old. This is I Want to Believe by Allison Embroidery. And I started this in November of last year. Here's where I was. And here's where I'm at now. And I have no clue what I did. We're going to have to see together. I know I worked up here in the sky just a little bit. I think maybe I worked down here and started filling in some of the trees. What did I do? I don't know. I worked on it. I think 2 days. That would be something I should probably look up before I record. It's like, where were you? What was your progress like? But it's coming along. It's looking good. I don't think I'm at 50% on this yet. Let me see. Let's touch the camera again. Because this was last year and I don't have, I just made temporary pages, but I'll show you the temporary page I made. Just so I didn't have to have multiple notebooks out. A little space guy. It came out of a coloring book. Super cute. Little space guy. 41%. 41%. It's coming. November of last year. This guy's gonna have to hit the brick soon, I think. Just because I want to have these things done. I want to have them available. I think I'm gonna try and finish that one similar to my Stegosaurus, where I finished it as a round pillow. I think I'd like to finish this one also as a round pillow for my sister, so that she has one for her craft chair. I put mine in my craft chair, which I have a picture of. I just need to get it on Instagram. I'm just slow moving. All right. Next up, this is Greenhouse of Curiosities by Lola Stitch. And it is up to its 6th or 7th planting. I'm starting to fill out other parts of the greenhouse. It is super cute. I am loving it. It makes me want to go back and do, she did a similar thing for a haunted library. And I loved it at the time. I just didn't have room for it. Makes me want to go back and do her haunted library. So this is where I was. And I didn't get a ton done on this one, but it is something. Blah, blah. Here we go. So I worked down here. I started working on that large saguaro cactus, filled in a couple more leaves of things. I finished the batwing orchid, which is that kind of purple black flower there, and the little poison dart frog down at the bottom there sitting on a rock. Yeah, got those all filled in and done. So I'm going to continue to work kind of this direction over and try and work on the metal. She just released a bunch of stuff, I think over here in this wing of the greenhouse. But I'm just going to be focused on slowly moving in and filling in the center. That's kind of my goal. So yeah, it is coming along. It's a very nice stitch as well. And I'm really liking the fabric I chose. This is natural cashel linen, and it's turned out really nice. Like everything pops nicely on it, and the natural linen looks appropriate for the greenhouse, I think. So I'm going fast again. I always do this. I don't know why I'm like that. Maybe I should slow down. I just don't have a ton to say. As much as my mouth moves, there's not a lot being said. It's another whip that's going really well. I think I like large projects in this like piecemeal style of like a mystery Sal or something like that. It just doesn't feel quite like you're doing a humongous project. It feels like you've got lots of little projects to do. I don't know. My brain is like wired to like that or something. Are those my whips? 1, 2, 3, 4 whips. Yeah, that's all my whips. So I have one new start. Already talked about my issue. So when I finished the little lost guy, I was like, okay, I need a new start to take to work. Like I said, I like to have 2 kind of work starts going at a time. Something small, something, something just kind of easy potato chippy to just take to work, and I can do, like I said, during meetings or things when I have to be slightly distracted. And so I was like thinking about it, was like, oh, I should really get back to the octopus. I shouldn't start anything right away, blah, blah, blah. And then it was Night Spirit Studio Day on July 8th, Saturday. It was Night Spirit Studio Day. And I was like, well, I mean, I have to do something for Night Spirit. Like, I think I put, like, only she could get me to, like, add something to my rotation when I wasn't planning to. So I started Greetings from Beyond. This is a super cute pattern. I am doing a minor floss conversion. Very, very minor, in that I'm replacing, because I want it, let me check. I want it to match this Halloween Ouija. I want to make a set of divination themed or like spiritualist themed pieces. So a Ouija board, these candles that say hello, I've got a couple other earmarked to go with it. And so I worked really hard and I looked for fabric because that fabric's gone. There's no more of that fabric, and the person that dyed that fabric is not doing that color anymore. So I did a little work, and I think that's damn close. This is Plum Pudding by Mountain Aire Fabrics on Stashtopia is where I got this. I had to order a couple things because it's a brown, but it's a pinky brown. And this is a purpley brown, so it worked. It got there to look like sister pieces. So then I converted, the whole pattern is in black and white. So I just converted the DMC blank white to Weeks Dye Works whitewash, which is what is in this piece. So hopefully it will bring it together a little more. And I got a little start on it. There we go. Looking pretty good. The white is really bright with that super bold outline on it, and I love that. So yeah, all this void of the stars is going to be a pain in the butt, and then the smoke where hello is written is going to be a pain in the butt. But it's actually kind of just nice to work on. Again, it's a good one for a work stitch. It's kind of mindless. You can just kind of go and pay attention to whatever's going on, or do it on my lunch break when I've just got a short break, and make an amount of progress. So I got this done on Saturday and a little bit on Sunday while the girls were over. We did a stitchy hangout. And yeah, super happy with it. And super happy to support Night Spirit Studio because she's amazing. I have tons of her patterns. I just bought a bunch more. And she deserves it. So I hope if you did something for Night Spirit Studio Day, put it in the comments. I would love to see what everybody's working on. Let me see here. Do I show my page? What's this called? Greetings from Beyond. Let's see if I can get my... Pick it up. Oh, it didn't shake too terrible. So there's my page for Greetings from Beyond. These candles came out of a coloring book, and then I faked the glow of the candle a little bit. I don't know if that's picking up. There's I used chalk pastels to try and fake the glow of the candles. So I thought that was pretty appropriate. Looks cool to me. So those are just fun because I had to have a way to find my freaking project. So I needed tabs, and I couldn't find tabs for this 6 ring without spending more money than I felt like. So I just make them out of cardstock. That is all of my stuff. So, I put it in the comment, but I'm just going to put it here in case she's listening. Angie, if you want my conversion, speaking of floss conversions, for Schoolhouse, I know I thought about it after I sent it, I didn't want to put my email in the comments. You probably don't want to put your email in the comments. DM me on Instagram if you can. And I will totally, I made myself a Pattern Keeper friendly PDF. And since you already have the Schoolhouse PDF, I'm happy to send it out. If you have provenly bought the Schoolhouse PDF, I will happily share color conversion PDF with you. So, I'll get that to you. I really will. I noticed a couple mistakes in it, so I'll fix those too before I send it to you. That is everything I have. I feel like I'm making tons of projects. This thing getting off my plate, the shipwreck is right here, is actually a big weight off my shoulders. It's a big weight off my shoulders. I don't know if I'm made for doing those giant full coverage pieces. I see so many people doing them. They're so amazing. It's such a labor of love. I may not have that much love in me. I just might not. I might be made for smaller, more cartoony, more, this size pieces. That might just be me. I don't know. But then something might catch my eye someday and I fall in love and that's what I want to do. I don't know. So, it's been a week of changes and stuff going on. So I hope your week has been changes and stuff going on, but in a positive way. So I'll be back in 2 weeks. Stay safe. Stay sane. Bye.